The majority of New York City public school teachers voted for Mamdani, and he's now raiding their pension funds. I swear to you, I had to watch his budget speech like 3 or 4 times. I could not believe what I was hearing. And I am someone who knows Mamdani's real intentions, but still, it feels unrealistic that he would do all of these things, all of these terrible things in less than 2 months. This guy's been in office since January 1st. And a 9.5 property tax increase? So much so for taxing the rich, right? I don't know how someone, especially here in the United States, still believes that this whole rhetoric of taxing the rich is actually functional. Oh my gosh, it is not. Here's what people usually don't understand. Okay, it's very cool to say, hey, let's all tax billionaires. They have enough money. They can pay so we can all live a better life. Billionaires have options, okay? Big corporations have options. They're going to leave. They're going to go somewhere else where they can make more money, where they can continue with their businesses, unless you are willing to prohibit that. And then we are talking now about a dictatorship. We're talking about extreme control, which I don't doubt.
Here's the drink that flushes the sugar out of your veins and makes poor circulation disappear.
I hate it when this happens.
And the spills.
They try and do. I don't doubt at all. But what happens is that the middle class ends up paying for all the promises that were made behind the let's tax the rich. No, you're not going to tax the rich, Mamdani, right? Because you can't. And who's going to pay for all those fake promises? The people of New York. People making what? $100,000 a year, which is nothing in New York. Nothing. We are talking about funds that are supposed to protect our firefighters, our cops, our teachers, their health benefits, for God's sake. He's putting his dirty hands into the piggy banks that protects our seniors. Who the hell voted for that?
The people in New York that thought that they was getting free things and y'all thought that y'all had stars. I looked at Kamala Harris on a podcast and she was saying, oh, we got great stars. We got Jasmine Crockett and Zoran Mamdani. And she was talking all of this nonsense. And what people don't understand is that you are going to continue to get finessed and fleeced by the Democrat Party that cannot execute on or participate in giving you anything free unless you pay for it. So is it really free if you paying for it? Taxpayers are the ones that's going to get a 10% property tax increase. The people are fleeing New York en masse. And he says he's not going to fund the 5,000 cops that they need on the payroll. And so the cops is getting crashed out on also. This is insane. If you can't even protect your pensions, if you can't even protect the people, if you can't even protect the ones that actually work in New York City, what do you think that all of the workers are going to do? They're going to go and find jobs in greener pastures and in places where they actually value police officers and firefighters. And the billionaires are going to continue to push for things to stay the same, as a matter of fact, for it to get better for them. And if they want to, they could just leave and go to a completely different place, make that their residence, and then come and visit New York City when they want to come and visit New York City. So for y'all to fall for that, for the teachers, for the people in New York City to fall for that, I'm just so surprised y'all just went for somebody that said that they were going to be a socialist. Even Trump laughed at it afterwards and was like, interesting.
We're going to talk about the other crazy stuff happening there, like the Islamic call to prayer at freaking 5 a.m., blasting through loudspeakers.
Yep.
Or his way of getting rid of homeless people, which is basically by freezing them to death, or the discussions being brought up if having a dog is considered a sin or not. Like,
for the record, man, I really appreciate how this guy Anton breaks down information. You know what I'm saying? In layman's term, man, what's happening in New York is extremely sad. It's extremely disappointing because these are the people that are put in position to make decisions for the smaller guy, the middle guy. The small business owner, the local guy who's who's employing a lot of people within the county, within the municipality. So this is very disappointing, man. But to hear Anton break it down the way he broke it down, man, I mean, it's important because, you don't got to be a genius to understand this. You don't have to break this down, ingenious terms to make the average person who's genuinely trying to understand what's happening around them to get it. So the way he just broke it down would make sense from the most corporate motherfucker on earth and the most hood nigga in the planet. You know what I'm saying? Not saying that hood niggas are, don't think or have a higher level of understanding. But just the average person who does not understand the way that they explain it on CNN News, and then this guy comes in and breaks it down, and 1 + 1 = 2, and you be like, oh, I get it. Let me vote elsewhere. Let me make a more informed decision now that he broke it down like this. That's all I'm saying. Need more people like him in media.
Wow. New Yorkers, you are cooked.
Oh, it's getting spicy out here. This is not politics. This is a high-stakes power play. Mayor Mamdani said if Governor Hochul don't tax the rich, he'll raise property taxes by 9.5%. But that's not all. He's also talking about tapping retiree funds and dipping into New York's rainy day fund. Let's think about that. Retiree fund, property taxes, emergency reserves, all on the table. Now, understand the chess move. Hochul has an election this year. So Mamdani frames it like this. If you don't tax the rich, you're protecting them. That sounds great in the headline, but here's the trap. If Hochul refuses and calls his bluff, then he has to follow through. Homeowners get hit for 9.5%, and when property taxes go up, rent goes up. There's no such thing as a landlord absorbing 9.5%. That bill gets passed down straight to working families. And let's talk about retiree funds. Those aren't slush funds. That's deferred compensation. That's people who already work 20, 25, 30 years. Now you're balancing today's budget on tomorrow's security, and the rainy day fund, that's supposed to be for emergencies, recession, crisis, disaster. You don't drain it for political leverage. So ask yourself, is this fiscal responsibility or election year pressure tactic?
So everything he said, every single thing that he said is 100% facts. And I always like to link.
You don't have to be a genius to explain things to where any and everyone who watches that video clearly understand what's happening around them and to them. I appreciate that motherfucker right there. I don't know his name. But W's in the chat for this guy, man. Even if you're in high school and you're still learning about the world, or you're in college and you're just about to graduate and actually be 100% injected into the adult world where bills and debt and decisions actually matter and happen, you could take this video, you could take what he just said and take it with you and be a more informed citizen within your county, within your state, within your municipality, and understand what's happening around you to help you make a life decision. I appreciate that guy right there.
Back to the content creators. So those will be down in the description along with the Patreon. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. We got a live stream tomorrow night. Content creator live stream tomorrow night. I'm going to show y'all how to leverage this again in order to get to the bag. In addition to that, Teach Hanley, 40% off your first order, 20% off life. Everything that he's saying is absolutely correct. Kathy Hochul, even though it's an election year, I don't think that she was going for it anyway, because she was not going to allow for that to affect her in future elections either. But she is not going to allow for the ones that are that pay 40%, more than 40% of all taxes inside of New York City, to be taxed to death. She is not going to let that tax base to be going out of New York and down into Florida, down into Texas, down into Tennessee, to other states, so that they can take advantage of that tax base. She's not going to let that happen. And so basically, you would be like destroying yourself to let that happen. And instead, Mamdani should have never promised all of this free stuff. Then you wouldn't be in a position to where you have to fill a $7 to $12 billion budget gap.
I can't believe the sleep apnea pillow.
This is 100% mismanagement of funds from people that you do not know, probably did not vote for, and have a say-so on how your story might end if you're a county or a state employee. God damn.
Exists.
That's dangerous.
So I almost made the dumbest mistake of my life. I got this contour pillow.
New York has over $116 billion budget. Like, that's what they're doing. And if you're telling me that you don't have enough money, while at the same time having a migrant funding program If you can't fix that on your own, then you have bigger problems on your hand. Should have never promised all of this free stuff. It was never going to happen. We warned y'all in New York. 2 months into his administration, now you're going to pay for it.
Because if Hochul folds, he looks like the hero. But if she doesn't, and he executes this plan, he owns the consequences. You cannot talk affordability while making housing more expensive. You cannot say you're protecting workers while touching retiree money. And you cannot claim stability while draining emergency reserves. This is political chicken. And the people in the middle, homeowners in this city, renters in this city, working families in this city, retirees who already gave their body to the city. If this backfired, the political class will survive, but the middle class won't. Watch the game carefully, because somebody's getting exposed, and it may not be who you think.
What's going on in New York is a look on the future conundrum that is facing the Democrat Party going forward. You see, while they're trying to, ride this so-called wave of socialist populism, they can't do that without the funding of millionaires and billionaires.
Correct.
I mean, just take a look at what's going on with Hochul and Mamdani. Right now, Mamdani is trying to twist this and spin it as if it's a Kathy Hochul's fault.
Kathy Hochul
because she refuses to raise any type of wealth tax on the wealthy. So he now, is trying to frame this that as because of her, he has to now raise property taxes on everybody. Now, Hochul is in a pickle. Hochul,
no, she's not.
The old guard of the Democrat Party, they know that this populist socialist wave is inevitable. They don't know how to quite ride it, shall I say. They don't know whether to join it, embrace it.
They're going to let him burn. They're going to let him burn. He's going to burn.
And discredit
Feel the burn from Bernie Sanders.
My guess is the whole idea of democratic socialism is not something that the Democrat Party wants at all. And it's the reason for this is very simple. The Democrat Party is, in fact, the party of the millionaires, billionaires, and elitists.
It is.
Just take a look at the money that Kamala Harris raised. $1 billion. It's a lot of fucking money. And it wasn't from, small donors, grassroots donors like, say, the Trump campaign was. These were mega donors, deep pockets. And everybody knows, including these millionaires and billionaires, that once you start getting into the path of socialism, the power structure that they're very comfortable with slowly shrinks and disappears. I mean, just take a look at the mass exoduses from New York and California. These are multi-millionaire billionaires leaving those states. Yep. They don't want anything to do with it.
Including Mark Zuckerberg just moved to Florida.
If I was a betting man, I'm willing to bet that in the very near future, I'm talking probably the next 60 to 90 days, you're going to see the knives out for Mayor Mamdani. And it's going to be, it's the first stone will be cast by Kathy Hochul. Anyway, what are your thoughts on this?
They're going to burn this whole New York City. Listen, the middle class and the people in New York City are the ones that's going to suffer for their voting practices. And we warned y'all. We told y'all. Let me know what y'all think inside of the comments. Make sure y'all tap into the Patreon. Link is in the description. Teach Henley, 40% off your first order, 20% off for life. I love you. I appreciate you. I'm going to holler at you guys later. Peace.
Like, comment, subscribe, man. This is your first time to my YouTube video, man. Let me know in the comment section what you guys think about this video, man. What's going on out here in the world is pretty insane. But you make sure that you stay informed and you make sure that you stay prepared. Until next time.